So last year, Emma and I made a custom doll of the iconic RuPaul's Drag Race winner, Willow Pill, and it is well overdue for us to make some more drag queen custom dolls. So we figured, who better than to make the ultimate dolls of drag themselves, Sugar and Spice. After going through all of their amazing looks, I chose my favorite look for Sugar and Emma chose her favorite look for Spice. For Sugar, I just had to choose this ultimate candy fantasy moment. I love this look so much. So much, in fact, that I impulse bought every single supply necessary to make this into a custom doll as soon as Sugar posted the look on Instagram because I love it. So yeah, this video will only be the process of us making Sugar because I don't have enough storage to edit both videos at the same time, so come back next week to see the full video on how we make Spice. But until then, let's get started on making Sugar.
Get out of my frame!
In Sugar and Spice fashion, I will be using a bratz doll head, making this my first ever bratz repaint, as well as my first ever bratz reroot, using a lot of beautiful nylon hair from Shimmerlocks. There's a lot of different colors I used for this reroot today. I didn't actually use any of the Serendipity, so that'll just go into my stock. I've always been too scared to reroot a bratz doll, considering that the needle is likely going to break a couple of times before I finish this reroot because bratz heads are just like rock solid. So this reroot is a lot different than how I normally do reroots because the head is so solid. I need to have a cup of boiling water with me at all times. This way the vinyl is soft enough that you can actually stab the needle through the head without breaking it, and yeah, this takes a long time. Probably every 10 to 15 plugs I have to dunk the head in the boiling water again, and then every few sessions of that I have to put the water back in the microwave to heat it up again, and it's just, yeah, this is not fun. I highly recommend, if you plan on doing a bratz reroot, to have a movie marathon in the background or a podcast you really like to listen to. I don't know, something to keep you a little sane while you do this. However, all that pain and waiting is well worth it once the reroot is finished. The hair is still wet here, so it's not like full glorious beauty nylon moment. However, it is done and it looks gorgeous. So to seal the new hair in, I use Fabri-Tac glue. This glue does not melt over time and get all nasty and like seep through the holes. So yeah. As for the body this doll is going to be getting, I'm using an Ever After High CA Cupid. I am just personally not a fan of the bratz bodies because I don't know, they're just not my favorite, and I like articulation. And also, after watching all of Hexgian's bratz customs, I figured an Ever After High doll would be a perfect body swap. Alright, so now I can finally get started on Sugar's face up. Now, I bought this bratz head used in this condition, and it looks like they already tried to acetone off some of her makeup, but let's go ahead and remove the rest and then clean up her face. Here's her face all clean after I also washed her with some soap and water to make sure that the acetone is all gone, and here I am spraying her with her first layer of Mr. Super Clear. So I guess you could say I was a little nervous about this being my first ever bratz repaint, so I made an entire mood board based on you guys telling me what your favorite bratz screenings of all time were, so I could reference those at the same time as I was drawing this face up. And I will say this helped a lot, so thank you guys so much for helping me out and letting me know what bratz screenings you thought were the best, and I implemented a lot of those details into these face ups, so. Bratz dolls just have such a unique style that if you slightly alter it, it's going to be very obvious. So it was very, very tricky to make sure I thought the eyes were perfect and the lips were the correct size. As you can see, I also brought in some actual Bratz dolls I own to use those as reference as well. I also wanted to make sure that I was implementing Sugar's style of drag makeup at the same time as making this doll look like a Bratz screening, but luckily enough, like, Sugar and Spice's drag makeup is very Bratz-esque already, so not too many changes needed to happen. I filled out the lips using a light brown watercolor pencil, which I will go over with acrylic paint later on. Bratz dolls have some of the thinnest and sharpest eyelashes I've ever seen on dolls, but thankfully their heads are a little bit bigger than the dolls I'm used to working on, so doing these eyelashes was not too difficult. For eyebrows, I lay down a thick block of chalk pastel and then use my kneaded eraser to sharpen the eyebrows and shape them to how I want. And then once I think that they are completely even, which they usually aren't, I'm pretty bad with eyebrows, I take a brown watercolor pencil and then fill out the brows completely. Here I'm filling out the pupils to get a better idea of what the eyes are going to look like when they're all finished. So that was layer number 1. Here's how the sketch turned out. So far, I think it is looking pretty good. So I go ahead and add another layer of Mr. Super Clear, and once that dries, I'm moving on to the eye makeup. This is going to take a lot of layers of chalk pastel to build up the correct eyeshadow pigment that I want. I'm also adding a little bit of contour with some chalk pastels onto the nose and cheeks. Then I'm also adding some blush onto the cheeks, and then I go in with my highlighter palette and add a little bit of shimmer in certain areas. I'm also building up a lot of layers of white chalk pastel and white watercolor pencil underneath the brow bone to give that highlight effect. So here I am now on the third layer of the Faceup, still building up the highlight and eyeshadow. I think I've pretty much built up as much as I can right now with the chalk pastels, so I'm gonna go ahead and start using my acrylic paints. Like always, if you see any materials that you are wondering what they are, I have a full material list linked in the description, and if you want to buy anything from it, it is like an Amazon affiliate link, which helps out the channel, so yeah. For the cut crease and under eye, I'm painting like a gradient eyeshadow from white to pink on top and then white to purple on the bottom. I also decided to go over some of the more hot pink eyeshadow with acrylic paint, which can also help me clean up some of the eyelashes if I messed up anywhere and make them a little sharper. I noticed a lot of bratz screenings have either a contrasting or a light color at the center of the eye to give a little highlight, and I'm using a pastel yellow. I also added this dark blue dot onto the side, but I really didn't like how it looked, so I just painted over that later. Now for the lips, I'm using a hot pink acrylic paint as the lip liner, and then to fill in the lips, I'm using a more nude, like salmon-y pink, you know, just like a nude lipstick kind of acrylic paint. Now, of course, I need to add the eye shines using a dotting tool and a little bit of white acrylic paint. Now I wanted Sugar to have the glossiest lips imaginable, so I'm going in with my Liquitex Gloss Varnish and adding a couple coats to her lips. Off camera, I added a couple of tiny rhinestones because I noticed that Sugar loves to add rhinestones into her makeup looks. And with that, the face up is all finished, so now here's a little ASMR moment of me taking out the needles. Alright, so now I'm going to pass the doll over to Emma, and Emma is going to do the hairstyle and get started on Sugar's outfit.
Hey guys, it's Emma. So for Sugar's hair, it's styled in 3 separate top knots. So what I did was I went ahead and braided her hair into 3 different sections, and then I just twisted the hair around. After that, I secured it with like a ton of pins, just so it stays nice and flat, and then I stuck pins inside the hair to make it look spiky like that. There's no gel in this hair whatsoever, just pins. Lots and lots of pins. So that is basically Sugar's hair finished. It turned out super cute, and I think it looks just like her actual hairstyle. Okay, now we can get started on Sugar's dress. Sugar's dress is pink, purple, candy, sprinkles, everything under that category. The base fabric I'm using is this white sparkly fabric because that's what base Sugar used, and we're just going to get started with the skirt piece. After the bottom's hemmed, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pleat the skirt. Now the skirt is pleated and ironed down. We are going to attach it to the top. The top is basically a tube top with no bra because Sugar wears pinwheels on her ninnies. Here's what the inside of it looks like. It's just basically just attached like to a piece of fabric. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some grommets into this and make it into a corset in the back, just like Sugar's is. So now that the grommets are set in place, we are going to go and lace it up, and it is so stinking cute. Oh, and it looks like those like things that are like at the dinner table, like I forget what they're called, but that's what it's giving. Morgan really wanted to customize this dress, so I let her, so I'm gonna go hand it back to Morgan.
Alright, so now it is my turn to decorate this beautiful dress that Emma has made. I love the fact that there's like an actual corset in the back, like the little grommets, like that is crazy. So to decorate Sugar's dress, I'm first going to start off by painting the panels with like watered down acrylic paints. We figured this was probably the best method to do this because if we were just making the dress out of a bunch of different fabrics, it would be way too bulky to be in doll scale, so this is our next best solution. So here's how Sugar's dress is looking so far. Now I went ahead and ordered a bunch of materials ahead of time, like I said before, and I bought a bunch of tiny polymer clay charms in the shape of hearts to look like the little, what are they called? The little heart candies that you get like around Valentine's Day. And I also bought those like little crumble packs to look like tiny sprinkles. So I just put a little bit of Elmer's glue all on the dress and then coated the dress in the tiny little crumble sprinkles in the front pink panel. Then for the rest of the dress, I am individually placing on all the tiny hearts in the panels that correspond to whatever color they are. This was a very tedious process, but I loved it. I thought it was very therapeutic. So after I added all the little details, here is how the dress is looking. I absolutely love how it turned out. It's super cute and glittery and just, I want to eat it. Emma cut out 2 tiny circles out of some craft foam and then I painted them to match Sugar's bra. After I painted them, I added a little bit of Elmer's glue all and then more of the crumble sprinkles over top of them. Because I didn't buy the crumble sprinkles in every possible color, I just painted over top of them to correspond with the triangles. Then I added that same glitter paint to make them sparkle.
I am back and I put the dress on Sugar and it looks so cute, and then I glued these straps down to her and then I'm going to super glue the pinwheels onto her ninnies. And then I get super glue all over my hands, like that is a doll customizing rite of passage, is glue on your hands every time. Now that the pinwheels are finally secure, the dress is done and it is absolutely stunning. This is like one of the cutest dresses ever.
Our amazingly talented friend Studio sculpted these tiny little butterflies for us, and then we printed them out on our 3D printer with resin, and then I hand painted all of them with acrylic paint. These are going to act as the butterfly clips in Sugar's hair, and I think they're so cute, and the amount of detail you can get on a 3D printer like this is actually insane to me. Here's how they look all painted, and I obviously added some more glitter paint because I can never not do that.
Now attaching the butterfly clips into the hair, we're just going to place them down where I think I want them to be, and then we're going to super glue them. Yeah, we're bringing it back, and they stuck, and OMG, I cannot even explain how cute they look. Thank you Studio for sculpting these, and thank you for making them look amazing.
Then we printed out this shoe base, which this file is actually from Moonlight Jewel, and these work amazing if you're making some platform wedge heels for a Monster High or an Ever After High doll. So I just painted them half purple, half pink, and then added some Elmer's glue and stuck on more of the little crumble clay to look like sprinkles, and then hearts to the other side. Then I added some ribbon straps and a little silver buckle on the ankle strap, and with that, Sugar is done. So we also gave Sugar some hot pink tights. These come from Dawn of the Dance Frankie. Of course, I'm sure some of you might have already noticed that. Listen, if one day this doll became like a mass-produced look, dare I say she would be #1 bestseller. I mean, the design is so gorgeous. I think Sugar really ate this look up. The second I saw this was posted onto her Instagram, I knew I needed to have a doll of this. Of course, biggest thank you goes to Emma for making this doll with me and for also making Spice with me, which you will see next week if you would like to subscribe so you get a notification and never miss a new video. If you'd like to get early access to upcoming custom doll YouTube videos, you can head over to my Patreon, where we also have behind the scenes and exclusive content. And a big thank you, of course, goes to our patrons. Thank you so much to Hannah, Hunter, Lily, Ohio from Ohio, Emmy Lisis, and Kristen. Again, thank you so much for your support. Without it, these videos would not be possible. And I hope you all stay safe, stay healthy, drink some water, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!